Okay, so thank you guys all for tuning in today. For those of you who don't know, I know we have some guests on here. My name is Amy Stack. I'm the marketing coordinator out of Keller Williams Premier Properties in Glen Ellen. And we've had, of course, with everything going on, a resounding response to this class, people wanting to know how they can still do open houses and service their clients virtually without, spreading the virus and keeping both their buyers and their sellers safe. So I've actually partnered with some awesome agents in our office that have been working on their own virtual open houses, and all three of them have been doing it in different ways. So I'm going to start the class by letting them kind of explain what they're doing. And then I will go through a tutorial where I'll do a screen share and show you guys how you can do all kinds of things, from making a graphic to a landing page to hosting a watch party on Facebook, and scheduling some posts to advertise it, how to do a Facebook ad, and then actually get those leads that you get onto a smart plan for follow-up purposes. So if you guys could just give us a little bit of grace. This is obviously the first time we've done this class, so I scheduled it for an hour. Depending on how questions and everything go, it might go a little long. We are recording it, so I will be able to upload that recording to the various Facebook groups and everything. And if you're not in one of them, if you guys want to email me for that directly, I would be happy to send it out. My email is amystack@etopsuccess.com. I'll go ahead and put that in the chat as well. Should have did that ahead of time. Sorry about that. So you guys can email me questions there, or like I said, if you're not in one of our KW groups and don't have access to the files, I'm happy to send those over to you as well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I want to introduce you guys to Deb Ritter. Oh, April's out of the room. Oh, she's coming. There's April, and then Sergio. They've all been doing some virtuals or prepping for some virtual open houses, and we've been kind of talking about what they have done that's working and just kind of masterminding around how to make them more efficient. So if you three, can you unmute yourselves, or do I need to do it for you? Here, I can. There's Deb. April's not on mute. Sergio, are you in already? Maybe he's still hopping on. So we'll start with April, because she's done one already. And why don't you just explain what that process looked like for you to everybody else?
Okay, so when it was brought up that we shouldn't be doing open houses anymore, I do open houses all the time, so I needed to figure out what I could do to fill that open house space. So I have not used Matterport. I don't have those videos, and I don't really want to spend the extra money on my current listings to buy that. So I took my pictures and made a slideshow and put some branding in it. I used iMovie, put the slideshow together, and then I did a Facebook Live where I walked through the property talking about the different features in the home on Facebook Live and shared my screen to my audience. It went okay. I had a couple agents watch and a couple girlfriends came on and watched, but then it's showing more people are viewing it later because it's recorded and you can go back to it. So I also created landing pages on command that had the neighborhood snap, a piece about the listing, a little bit about me, a form, and also a link to the Facebook page. So that's how I was promoting it.
Awesome. Thanks, April.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions they want to ask right away to April, or do you guys want to hear what Deb has to say first? I don't see any hands up, nothing in the question box. Okay, then Deb, I'm going to have you explain what you're working on. I know you haven't actually launched yours yet, but you have a different approach that you're working on putting together, right?
Yeah. Okay. So, and actually, my brain is. I've got a couple other thoughts after April said something. Is one is I am actually going into the house. I have two vacant listings, so I've got a perfect opportunity to do those with. Um, and so I went in and with my iPhone and I walked the house and filmed it. Um, so I've got, it's like a 14-minute video that just sort of talks about about it. And so I think what I'm going to do is do a Facebook event uh, where we do a launch party. So it kind of gets people coming and, so I'm gonna try that. Cause like, I'm like April, I don't have any Matterport pictures. So I'm going to do the live video, and then what I'm hoping to do through that is be on it and then being able to comment and answer questions as it comes along. But that said, um, this is just a thought I want to throw out there is our open house, the open houses that we were having, by and large, we weren't getting millions of people coming to these open houses, right? As at least not me. And so, for April to say that you only got a few people, maybe that's just the way it is right now. I don't know, but it's just a thought, just after you said that, April, I was like, well, maybe you did pretty well, all things considered, given how open houses were in general beforehand. So I've been running ads for my, I've been running ads off of command for my listings, and I am using the Facebook landing page, which I didn't realize this until Amy and Amy and Sergio and April and I were talking. The Facebook landing page, when those people click through to your listings, their email and phone number comes through because that's what Facebook has on file for them. So it's a 50-50 proposition if that stuff's still accurate, but I've had some pretty decent, I'm starting to think maybe the Facebook ads are the way to go because I'm having decent connections. I'm running 2 ads and on 2 different houses, and the click-through rate on one of them is costing me like 90 cents a click. And the other one's a little more, like $1.35 a click or something. But, and I'm not, I'm just starting out slow and not spending massive amount of money on it. But it's given me plenty of people to follow up with since then.
And you're using a Zoom, that Facebook lead form?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually using it right now, and I was going through my leads that I got. A lot of them are like, it looks like a third-party data aggregate. So a lot of incorrect numbers. I was just speaking to a gentleman who said he received hundreds of calls from various businesses to one gentleman of, some name. And the guy actually does exist, and I've looked him up. He's living in a different town. So it seems like there's something going on with those Facebook leads through the lead form.
Yeah.
That it's some third-party data aggregates, I think, some of them, or it's just they're so generic that they're incorrect, and they're leading to I don't know who. Yeah, so this is my experience. I just got off the phone with a gentleman who said he received hundreds of calls from like mechanics, like attorneys. So the data that they're selling has to be, sold elsewhere as well for other purposes.
Yeah, I'm not getting calls, but I'm the one making the calls and the connections to all these people.
Right. Yeah, I'm talking about responding to a lead. I just got the lead. I called the gentleman, and he said that he received a multitude of calls asking for a person who is on the lead form, asking for a specific name, and he said he's not the man, and I don't know, does not know why his number is, associated with that particular lead. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I have gotten that sometimes, but I've had I've made some nice connections, not massive amounts, but I've made some connections with people.
I'll talk about that Facebook lead form when we get to the Facebook advertising a little bit too. So I can give you some more information about that. So Deb, did you have any more you wanted to add to what you're doing, or should we let Sergio kind of talk about his process?
Not much more, I guess, but my plan is to go out with on this listing, it's a vacant townhouse. I'm gonna do a Facebook watch party and promote it that way and see how that goes.
Awesome. Okay, so we heard from April, who's done a couple different things. You did slideshow through Zoom, and then Deb was doing the recordings of the vacant properties, and Sergio has actually been using Matterport. So I'm gonna let him talk about what that looks like in his virtual tour open house experience.
Right. So what I did is I obviously did a Matterport tour of the property, and then I advertised a open house on Facebook using my campaigns. So I was able to create a capture lead form that my subscribers filled, and when the time came, I've sent them a link to that Zoom meeting and basically virtually walk them through a house. I know April was there, and yeah, and got some feedback. I plan to do it on weekly basis. So what Amy is gonna teach probably today is that premiere, so the watch party on Facebook, and kind of have that scheduled weekly, automated as much as I can. And while the event is happening, so I have one property that I did the Matterport tour. I don't have my other properties Matterport. What I'll do, it's a condo. I'll quickly shoot just a video, and then I'll upload it to YouTube and simply first show the Matterport on one property, and then show the YouTube link on the other property, and kind of get my clients to tune in every Sunday at noon while we're in this extraordinary situation, and then, you know, get some feedback. So I'm looking forward to also this class today.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for sharing what you've been doing. And again, thanks to everybody who's on the call today. One of the things that Sergio mentioned is the Facebook watch party. So I am going to teach you how to set up a premiere for a Facebook watch party, which does require that you have a video created already. The reason I had these three talk about what they were doing was because I wanted you to see that you can make it work with your business and how it is. If you have a listing already and you don't want to leave your house and your sellers don't want you to go in, you can absolutely do a slideshow like April did out of your photos, and just kind of make a Zoom, a private Zoom, and record that, and then upload that as a video. You can also do what Deb's doing, where you can use your own footage, walking around the house, just like a little tour. Kim Mustis had asked in the chat if 3 minutes was too long, and that is absolutely not too long. You can make them longer if you want to for this purpose. I wouldn't be doing a super long video that you're just advertising the property, but for what we're doing, you want it to feel like you're walking through the property with those clients. So you absolutely talk about the features that the home has to offer, things that they might not catch just, you know, taking your phone and kind of slowly going through. You can talk during your videos to highlight what's going on. And the cool thing about that is that you can, okay, so I'm going to backtrack a little. So if you're not going through the house, you can do the slideshow through Zoom and record yourself talking about those photos as well. And the reason that that's a pro for you guys is because when you upload that to the Facebook watch party, that audio is all pre-recorded, and so you're giving the tour, but then you're also able to moderate all of the comments and everything that are coming live during the watch party. So you're not having to try to talk to the people that are attending and answer their questions that are flying in. The video is just going to keep rolling for you. Does that make sense? Can you get a thumbs up to everybody? That questions on that? No? Okay. So I'm going to go fairly quickly because we have a ton of stuff to show you today. I am going to share my screen because I obviously want you to see what I'm doing, but I did have the opportunity to make an instruction sheet too. So for those of you in my office, this is already uploaded into the KWPP resources drive. I'm going to work on getting that out to everybody else. And again, for those of you who are attending that aren't in our office group, feel free to email me. I should be able to get a list of everybody that attended today because you guys all registered, so I can send that instruction sheet out as well. So give me a second. I'm just going to start sharing my screen here.
Hey, Amy, on that
Yeah.
note, how do you use that registration sheet that you were using for this meeting?
That's just a feature of Zoom. So you
Now,
can
do they
require.
collect those leads? Do they
What was
collect?
that?
Do they collect the data?
Yeah, so it's actually the first time I've been using it. It should download, I should be able to go in afterwards and download a
Right.
CSV file of everybody's email. So I won't have, you know, phone numbers or anything, but that's another option for lead capture if you want to do a live tour. That's a really good point. You just need to require a registration for it when you set up your Zoom. I'm not sure if that's a feature on free accounts. I am logged into our office account, which is paid. So that's something you'd want to look into as well. One of the other things we had talked about for lead capture was, you know, for KW, we have the landing pages, so you can make a lead capture form out of landing pages. The only downside to that is that it's just a lead capture. You can't add extra comments for asking for feedback for sellers. The huge upside of that is that those leads go directly into your command database then. So one of the other things we had been kind of spitballing around was doing a Google form, which you could customize and add more questions to get some feedback for your sellers. And then obviously you still get your lead capture that way. However, that doesn't feed directly into command, so you would just have to manually enter that. So those are just some other ideas for lead capture and getting feedback for your sellers. All right, can everybody see the screen? You guys can see Sergio's Facebook page right now? Yeah, I'm getting some nods. Okay, great. So Sergio is kind enough to let me hop into his Facebook account and his command account. And this right here is an example of the sheet that has all the directions. So everything I'm going over today, I have these snapshots and step-by-step directions. So if you feel like I'm going too fast, don't worry. We have all that information for you on the back end. All right. So the first things I'm going to do, I'm actually going to set up some stuff in command before we start on the Facebook page. Remember, you do need to have your video ready to go, so I'm not going to show you how to take a video or anything. That's up to you guys to figure out if you want to use Matterport or slideshows or use your phone, okay? But a couple of things that you're going to need before you start your watch party is a social media marketing graphic and your property landing page. So I am in our command account. So for everybody at KW, that's agent.kw.com. You just log in like you normally do for your opportunities and contacts and everything. We're going to actually go to the design section. For people that are watching that are not with KW, you can use a design program like Canva to make a graphic like this as well. So I am in designs. I'm just going to hit the big blue plus at the bottom. I want to do this for social media, so I'm just going to click social, hit next. And while that's loading, Sergio, do you have a preferred graphic? On me? All right, cool. Then I'm just going to use this guy here.
Aesthetic.
All right, and I already know that Sergio told me his listing that we're doing this for is Red Oak. So I just click on the KWLS listing over here, this button, and then I'm going to just type in that address. And this has access to everything across the country. Sergio, do you happen to know the MLS number of that?
Yeah, that's the 10671959. So, yeah, it's over there. It's the one.
Do you see it? Oh, here, this one right here.
Right.
Okay, so you guys can see in this drop down here, you can choose how you want to search by it. So you can type in the address. If you have the MLS number, you just type that in as well. but here on the bottom left, we see his listing. So I'm going to go ahead and hit select. And now you can see I have all the pictures loaded right in from the KWLS. So I'm just going to click on this open house and add virtual to it. Actually, you know what? Because we're going to do this as a watch party, I'm going to take that text field out. I want to really highlight the property and get people to look at the beautiful pictures that we have here. So if I select the image, see how it's highlighted around the outside here, and then I want to use this really cool shot he has, I'm going to use the little circular arrows to replace the image so I don't have to resize anything. Now you see this banner is kind of on top of that image, so I can drag it down if I want to. Just kind of position it that way. It does look a little pixelated. It'll get a little bit more solid in a minute or two. Like I said, on Facebook, there is advertising that's going to go along with this graphic, so we don't really need all this extra stuff. I might actually just get rid of the whole banner, but if you guys wanted to add extra text and everything, you absolutely could, or if you wanted to do multiple photos, you could do that too. So maybe I want to do something like this. I'm going to move this photo over so we can still see the front of the house there. Hit done at the top. And then, Sergio, what's a really cool room that this property has? That do you think we should feature?
That white shot of a kitchen looks nice.
This guy?
Yeah, the one to the right. Yeah, I mean something like this.
Or this one? Oh,
Yeah, this
nice.
one looks.
We'll use that one.
I mean the pantry. Yeah.
So I gotta move my zoom window over, covering my screen here. All right. All right. So we've got a really cool picture of the inside, and we've got the front of the house as well. All right. I'm gonna make those even. And then let's go ahead and just add a little text. Whoops. And we're going to change the color of the text. We'll make it white so it's on that black. I'm going to change the size. Make it a little bit smaller here. And helps if you don't have your cap locks on backwards. Okay. I'm just going to stretch that out. And there we go. Okay, so I'm going to wait for this to kind of unpixelate, but when your file is ready, all you have to do is hit download. I do recommend PNGs for social media. They're just a higher quality photo. And then you just hit start download, and you'll see that it pops up either in your download file or at the bottom of the screen. So that was step one, was making the graphic. I'll log back into his account here. You can see down at the bottom here, we've got that graphic, and like I said, I'm going to come check in a minute, see if we can get that, if that has kind of unsoftened, gotten a little crisper. The next thing I wanted to show you was how to create a property landing page. So this is pretty quick because it is a widget within Command as well. For those of you, again, outside of KW, you could use a site maybe like Wix or something that does a free templated site. Basically, the goal of this is just to get your listing information on there so that when people come to view your watch party after it's happened, they can still get some more information. You could probably use the MLS, the Share My Listings widget. However, I don't think that page really has lead capture, so that's why I would kind of lean towards building something more from scratch. But for those of us in KW, all we have to do is go back into the main screen of your command, and you'll see there's the consumer button at the bottom on the left. This is where you get access to all of your landing pages and websites and everything. So I'm just going to hit create a new site, And we're going to do a standalone page. So this will not be connected to a website at all. We're going to hit create. And I'm just going to name it. What do we want to call it, Sergio, so that you know what it is? You just want the address. Oops.
And then
1017.
Riddle, tour lending, yeah.
Yeah. So this is just what you guys will see. The public won't see that name up there. And then you can see on the right-hand side, we have all of these widgets. So one thing that we like to talk about a lot at Keller Williams is that all of these command features should be 5 minutes to value. We're losing there we go. Now you can see my hand. 5 minutes to value. So it shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes to do any of the steps I'm showing you today. So I just retitled it. I want to put a branded header on that page. I want to put my listing information on that page. So I'm just clicking and dragging over. You guys see hold the mouse down, I come over and that green bar pops up. Just underneath the green bar is where that widget's going to populate. Okay, and then you can see when I grabbed Sergio's branded header, it did populate with all of his information already, and that's because he has already completed his marketing profile. So that's where that is pulling from. However, this is not his listing. We're not in Austin. If you guys want to add a lead capture form, that's what this lead form is here. These pages, this widget already, it should have that included at the bottom of the page, but I'm going to put it in there just to be safe. So I'm just going to click this lead form. I'm going to click and hold, drag over, and you guys saw the green line kind of zoop all the way to the bottom. So when I let go, that's where the lead capture form will populate. So this is on the left, my template of my landing page. And now we want to customize it. So at the bottom right, there's a button that says configure widgets. So I'm just going to hit configure. And I'm actually going to start at the first one. So now you see on my column on the right here, it says listing at the top. I'm going to click over. And now you can see I have branded header, listing, and lead form. So I want to start with the branded header because that's the top of my page. And so you can see here, I do have the ability to edit this stuff. So if we didn't want to have the information that was in your marketing profile in here, you can go ahead and update that. And you have the option, well, it is required to put a text in there. So it says header text, there's that little asterisk. So we have to put something in there. So we can just put the property address. If you want to put something else, you can absolutely do that. It's your landing page. And you'll see when I hit save and apply at the bottom, it's going to populate at the top of that screen there. So you guys see it all here?
I've got a quick question.
Yes.
How do we make it his listing?
We haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
It's next.
Okay, so if you guys want to title that something else like tour, maybe, well, I guess this isn't really a tour. You don't want to do a tour because this is the actual listing information. So you could, if you want to put the town or any other text in there, you can, but we're just going to leave it as the property right now. Okay, and I think we're good. I don't think we need to change anything else on here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save and apply, and then go back up to the top of my column and hit the right arrow. So you can see we're on one of three. We have 3 widgets, so we're on the first one. I'm going to go into the second one right now. And I think that was Teresa that asked how to customize it to him. Again, this is connected to the KWLS. All you have to do is hit this Browse Listings button. And again, we can search by property address or MLS number or KWLS ID. So I'm going to go ahead and type in the address again. Oops. Hit search. If it doesn't pop up right away, we'll just put the MLS number in there.
Yeah, you got it.
Right here, yep. And you guys can see, so it shows you pretty much like a snapshot of what's on the MLS. And we can see that Sergio is the list agent right there. I'm gonna go ahead and hit select. And again, we have the links to, or the option to look at all of these photos. So the photos that popped up on the right are the option of what we can put right here. This is called our hero image. So all of the photos will be available for everybody to see, but we have to pick one to put at the top. So if you have a really cool room that you want to feature, you can make that the first one. This isn't the MLS. You don't have to do the front of the house for this landing page. So Sergio, what do you want to be your landing page? Do you want the outside or do you want that cool?
Yeah, let's do the outside.
Okay, so we're gonna leave it as the outside here. And all I'm gonna do is hit save and apply. And now you'll see there's his listing and it's all populated with the information pulling right from the KWLS and MLS, the description, all the photos of his property, details, even a map, and then we're back down to the lead capture. So I'm gonna go back up to my right-hand column and click over to my last widget. And so it says interested, let's talk right here in the gray. And we do have the option to go ahead and customize that. Do you want me to change that, Sergio, or do you like looking for more information on this property? What was that?
Yeah, you can change it to looking for more info. Let's talk. And then the one thing we cannot customize is that leave a note, right?
Correct. Not on this. You can do that in your actual website. You can customize where it says leave a note on your contact page in your website. You can customize what that says. Whoops. So let's see. How does that look? So I just hit save and apply. I'm going to go down to the bottom, looking for more info on properties in this area. Because maybe they don't want that one, but they want something else in Addison, right? They need to know that you can help them with anything there, not just that specific property. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and publish page, unless you want me to make any changes, Sergio.
All good.
Good to go? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit publish. And I'm just going to hit yes. We want to make it visible to others. And now we can see, so I named it the 1017 Red Oak Landing. That's the one. You can see today's March 25th. There is my date that I created it. And then we have all these links in here. We can customize them a little bit. So if you hit this edit and change URL, you can see I can change what comes at the end. So the first part from pages all the way through the number, you can't change, but after that you can. So we'll just put the 1017 Red Oak. Okay. And you don't have to change that. It's just people ask me about it a lot. So I wanted to go ahead and show you how to do that. So now we've created the page, the landing page for that property as well. So the next thing I'm going to show you is actually how to set up that watch party on Facebook. So I'm in Sergio's Facebook account here. It is important that you guys do this through a page, not a profile. I believe you can do them in groups as well, but I know most of you are using business pages, so I wanted to just make sure you knew that I was on a page and not a profile. So to do this, all you have to do is click on where it says write a post, and then you're going to click that button that says watch party. You might have to scroll down a little bit to see it. So you're going to see watch party. And if you haven't done it before, this little pop-up will come in. You actually don't need to do anything on this screen here. You want to just hit done at this point because this is prompting you to use a video that's already on Facebook, and we want to upload our own video. Okay. Oh, Sergio's getting a message. Okay, so let me show you that again. I'm gonna X out of this. Okay, so I actually don't have Sergio's video, so I'm just gonna upload one that I have on my computer, and then we can go back later and upload the new one. Unless you have it ready to send, I can do that too. It's okay, I'll just put a short one in there. I just want to show you the process of how this works. Okay, so to reiterate, we're going to do write a post, click on watch party. You're going to ignore this window and hit done because we want to upload our own video. So right where you're going to be tempted to hit this add video button, don't do that. It'll bring that page that we just got out of back up. So just below that, there's this button that says photo/video. So you go ahead and hit that. And now you can see I have access to all the files on my computer. And I'm just going to go through, it's showing me all my video and photos right now. So I have this video file. I'm just going to select it and hit open. We're all going to see Janine's face in a minute here. So I haven't clicked anything. All I did was hit open and Facebook brought me to the page that we're on right now. So once you upload that video, it'll open this screen for you, okay? So the next thing we want to do is fill out this information. It's asking you what your title is and what your description is, and if you have any tags or keywords you want to put in there. So I mentioned earlier that we didn't have to put a whole bunch of text on our graphic because we're going to put it in right here. So I have a description that Sergio sent me already. I'm just going to copy it from my other screen. We're just going to title it Virtual Open House with the address, and then he gave me a little description here. Okay. And I'm also going to put for more details, more details can be found at, and I'm going to put the link to that landing page in there. So I'm going to go back into his command database, and I'm just going to copy this link right here. Whoops. And hit edit and just, oh, I thought we could hit copy there too. So I'm going to copy that link and I'm going to paste it right in to the description. And then for tags, you can put like real estate. You can do, if it's like a really good fixer-upper, you could do investing. Maybe we put Addison. Whoops. Illinois, you know, any open house. Whoops, helps if you can spell. All right, so you can put any tags in there that you want. You can look through the tagged options that Facebook has as well. And you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, I've got this percentage that's slowly climbing. It's actually loading the video right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hit next now that we have all of that information in there. So that's the post information, and it's gonna take us into the publishing options. And so it's giving us the option to publish right now. We don't want to do that. We want to schedule a watch party or a premiere. So if I go ahead and hit this premiere button, it will actually allow me to schedule when that video will be viewable by everybody. So even though you're uploading this video now, nobody will be able to see it until your watch party starts. So that's key. You want to make sure that you're doing that because then we're going to use some free posts and the Facebook ad to go ahead and really drive people to get to that open house virtual tour, right? We want to get them there at the time that it starts where you know you're going to be monitoring everything. So I went ahead and clicked premiere. Sergio, when do you want this premiere to start?
The 29th at noon.
Whoops. PM, okay. And then I'm going to go back into my designs that we were working on. Oh, it looks like my image is still a little grainy here. Let me see if this one loads any better. There, that one's better. Okay. So I'm going to download this design one more time. And that will be in my download folder now. Oops. And I'm just going to hit add image. And we're going to take, I know it's the first one, it's the last thing I downloaded, so I'm just going to take that image and hit open, and now you can see that it's going to have a little preview that says come walk through with me. Okay, so that is how you schedule it. You can go through and change some of these other options if you want to. I'm not going to, but if you don't want to show it in all these places, you can uncheck them. It is required to show in your newsfeed. You don't have an option about that. If you have any playlists you want to add it to, you can. Most people that I know don't have that set up, but if you do, that's a feature there. And now if you manage multiple pages, you can actually stream it in multiple pages at the same time. So that's what these are for. So Sergio is a part of a lot of pages. Good job. Moderation, I definitely recommend leaving it on, and that means people that comment, people can comment and react while the video is going. So I wouldn't turn that off. And if you're doing something to raise money, that's what this donate button is for. So Kim, you were asking about the length of the video, and you had said, is 3 minutes too long? You can see that there's tips right over here on the side. Videos at least this long get shown to more people, so I would make it 3 minutes or longer. Like I said, you want to give a lot of detail because you want to act like you're walking through the property with the person who's viewing it, okay? So go ahead and pay attention to whatever those tips are that they're giving you on the side. You can see we're 90% uploaded here. I'm going to go ahead and hit publish. Sergio, we just need to remember later to go swap out the video, okay? So I'm going to hit publish. And it's going to take a minute because we're still loading. So while that's going on, I am going to show you how to do some other stuff to start getting this advertised. All right, so we have this design we already made. We have the landing page already made. I'm going to go back to our home page in Command. What I'm about to show you is how to schedule a free post to Facebook or your other social media accounts that are linked to Command. Now, Sergio already has his Command account set up with all these connections. If you guys don't have your accounts connected, you just hit this little drop down at the top and go into settings, and that's where you can connect your social media accounts. So to actually schedule your posts through Command, you just hit this little campaigns button here. For those of you who don't, who aren't with KW, you can schedule posts to pages and groups through Facebook scheduling. So you can do these same type of steps through Facebook as well. You can see Sergio does a lot of campaigns in here, so that's great. Right now, we're actually going to do some free posts. So this is how you post it and schedule it without paying any money. It's not an ad, it's just a post that's going out to Facebook, but we're going to schedule it to go out when we want it to go out. So we're going to hit create a new campaign. And you can see there's social ad, that one's paid, and then there's social post. So we're going to click social post. And this is all the information that Facebook needs for us to schedule our post. So we can say something about your property here. Let me grab your description again. And we want to say that we're doing a virtual open house. Okay. We do have the option to browse our library. So we created that image in Designs. So I can just go ahead and browse the design library. And you'll see that all the designs that Sergio's worked on will pop up in here. Here's the one we just made, so I'm just going to select that. All I did was click on it because I knew that was the one we were working on, and it'll load right into this section of the post for us. If you guys wanted to use the scheduler for something else, you can also add links or videos as needed. Uh-oh. I got a little message that the design wasn't ready. So for some reason it thinks it's not ready. So you do have the option to upload images as well. So I'm just going to upload it there. And it's it always defaults to doing a 1:1 ratio. However, you can just click that drop down and do the widescreen and it'll capture the whole thing. So I'm just going to hit crop now. And you'll see on the right hand side, everything that I'm working on is populating with an example. So maybe we say something, let's make something fun about getting out of the house because we're all cooped up inside, right guys?
Hey, Amy, I think we have a small mistake over there at the text. Unfinished basement should say, and says garage. I don't know if that's something that was pasted over. There you go.
Thank you.
Yep.
So want to get out of the house, question mark. Join me for a virtual open house. featuring this modern new construction home with granite countertops, etc., etc. Join the watch party. Maybe we put that at the beginning. Tell me the date again. Is it Sunday the 29th? Sergio, was it Sunday the 29th? Sorry, you're muted. Yeah, okay.
Correct.
At noon on my business. Okay, so we are going to schedule this to go to his business page. So that's why I said watch party on Sunday the 29th at noon right here. Because people, when they see this, it will see that it's on his business page. And then we have the description of the join me for a virtual open house. We've already uploaded the photo. And then it is required to put a DBA logo on the image. So this is your Keller Williams logo. Whatever brokerage you're a part of should be in here. You can see that I have the option to put it on the left or the right. And if there's not one in here, you can upload your own as well. I'm going to use a white one, I think. Because I think it shows up a little better in the corner there. So I'm using, it doesn't look like there's an image in there, but you can see in the preview that the white logo showed up. So that is all we need to do to be compliant. Our logos have the disclaimer in it. If yours doesn't, please hit include my ownership statement, because each office is independently owned and operated is a requirement of KW. So you can see that popped up on the left over here. And then we want to schedule this post to go out. When would you like it to go out, Sergio? You want it to go out a couple days ahead of time? I don't want to do it the day of. I do like to give it a couple days so we can
Right.
get traction
So let's
on
do it maybe tonight, 5 p.m.
Okay, so tonight is the 25th. And so you see this little calendar popped up, and we want to do 5 o'clock p.m. Just hit enter there. And now you can see March 25th at 5 o'clock, it's scheduled to go. It is showing us that the best days to post are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning. So obviously we missed that window today, so we'll just do it in the evening, but it still gives us a couple of days to get some traction. And
you can do Friday morning if that makes any difference. You can
okay, well, let's do Friday morning then. So we'll do Friday at, what, 8 a.m.?
Sounds good.
Okay. And you can do this more than once. So you could schedule one for today and one for Friday if you guys want to do multiple posts. It's the same steps. I would change the wording up a little bit if you're going to do more than one. Okay, so then Sergio has connected his Facebook already. And then there's Twitter too. I'm just going to do it on Facebook for now. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit schedule post. Do you want to schedule? Yes. And then we'll see that it has popped up on his calendar. So you can see, let's see, Friday right here, there's a post scheduled at 8 a.m. And you can also see a rundown right here of what he has scheduled. So if you have several things scheduled, the whole list will show right on this page here. And you can get an overview at the top by scrolling left and right to the different weeks. Okay, so that was a free post that we just scheduled to go out. And the next thing I wanted to do was show you how to do a paid ad. So Sergio's done a lot of these for various reasons. I think mostly just for listings, correct?
That is correct. And I tried to do the A/B. I'm just experimenting on what works best and which options are working the best as far as
yeah, absolutely. So that's where when I click on paid ads at the top, these are ones that he's already run or are currently running. So we want to go ahead and make a new one. I should have, let me go copy the text from here. So I'm going to go ahead again and hit create new campaign, but this time instead of the free social post, we're actually going to do a paid ad. And again, the campaign name is for you, so the public won't see that. So we'll do Red Oak Watch Party. And for this, you could choose your goal to be advertise a listing, or you could choose it to be event awareness. The way that this is set up, for those of you who haven't done any campaign classes so far, is Facebook partnered with Keller Williams to really hone in on the things that are really needed for our industry, and they got rid of all the extra options. So for those of you not with Keller Williams, you can absolutely still do a paid ad. You're just going to have a lot more options on here, so just be smart about what you're choosing. For us, we've gotten rid of all the shiny objects. These are the things that are going to bring in leads for you and really bring that cost per lead down, so you'll have a higher ROI. We're averaging under $2 a lead right now through this system. I've seen a lot of people saying that the advertising a listing is where they're seeing the most return. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that goal right now versus event awareness, but that is up to you guys on how you want to set your goal for the campaign. And then you can see that we have options to do paid ads on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Sergio, do you have this hooked up to Instagram? Do you want to run it on Instagram or just Facebook?
Yeah, sure thing.
Okay, so I'm going to also click Instagram here. So Facebook and Instagram are owned, it's the same company, it's all Facebook. So every time I'm saying Facebook right now, we're talking about both of them. So I'm just going to go ahead and set up campaign. This is going to look really similar to what we have seen in designs and that other post scheduling. So so you can see here, we're in the listings and it says only my listings. So we're only seeing Sergio's. You guys do have access to see every single listing out there. So if you're doing an open house for somebody else, it's okay. You can still click on all listings and get access to all of that.
Actually, in this example, you do want to click all listings because for some reason it's not listed under mine. A couple of things happened like this before.
That's okay. So is it 1017? So just hit search. Here it is. So we can go ahead and hit select. And it brought the picture in right from the MLS. The description from the MLS. And then we have the ability to edit this headline and the text and call to action, okay? You also have the ability to see how it's going to view in different platforms. So right now we're seeing a web feed for Facebook. This is what it would look like on mobile. This is what it looks like on Instagram and an Instagram story, okay? So all of those, we chose Facebook and Instagram, so that's why we have all of those options. That's going to run automatically. You don't have to worry about choosing one of those. That's just showing you how it's going to look, the formatting. So we can go ahead and change the copy here. The main things you guys want to make sure to do in any type of advertising is have a hook, evoke some kind of emotion, and then have a call to action. So our hook is wanting to get out of the house, right? Fake it out of the house. And then, you know, I would say that that's pretty exciting, right? in these days right now. And then our call to action is going to be to join us for the virtual tour. Now you can see that the characters are more limited on this, so we're going to have to pare this down a little bit. So I want to get out of the house, join. My watch party on Sunday the 29th at noon. For a virtual, oops, Noom. Isn't that an app? A weight loss app? Okay, so join my watch party on Sunday the 29th at noon for a virtual open house featuring this modern new construction home in Addison. We don't even have to say in Addison. People will be able to see that when they come to your page. So if you want, if you really would just want to get more hits on this, you can get rid of the town. But this is where you're definitely going to want to have a really cool picture. So if you have a really neat feature in your property, make sure that that's what's showing, because that's what people want to look at. They love looking at houses, kitchens. This is a gorgeous front of the house, so I think this is a great picture. Sergio, thoughts on including Addison in there? Would you like me to?
You can, technically, you can get rid of it, you know, the less the better.
We'll just do that.
Yeah,
Sound good? Do you want me to edit anything else?
all good.
Okay. So want to get out of the house? Join my watch party on Sunday the 29th at noon for a virtual open house featuring this modern new construction home. Okay. So I'm just going to make the title virtual open house. You can see over on the right hand side where that's reflecting here. And then the description, it is okay to duplicate, because you can see right under the description box that says the description will be shown in some placements. It's not in everything. So it's okay to have the same thing twice. If you want to have two different things, that's fine. Just make sure that anything that you need the public to know is in the top. Don't put it in the description. So like we wouldn't just want to have the time and place down here. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay, I'm seeing some nods. Good. Sergio, do you want me to edit what's in the description?
You can switch it to click learn more to get details on the property, for example.
Like that? Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit save. So we did our name. Let's see, add media. We have that. The picture's in there, so you can see there's the green check mark there. So we have our photo. We already put that in. The next thing we have is Facebook and Instagram ads. We're going to configure them. So we want to tell it where the ad is going. We're putting it on Sergio's business page. And Sergio, do you want it just on Instagram, in traditional Instagram, or do you want it in the story?
And the story is fine.
In the story, okay, perfect. Then our destination for our lead capture. So this is, I said I would touch on this a little bit earlier today. I definitely recommend doing Facebook lead gen form, because what's going to happen there is when somebody clicks on your ad, a window is going to pop up and it will be pre-populated with their information. They do have the option to go ahead and update it. And that's where Sergio and Deb were kind of talking about the data wasn't always 100% correct. And well, people either A, can change it to make it something fake if they really want to, or B, this is old, this is whatever information they use to set up Facebook. So if their email address has changed or their phone number has changed and they don't change it in that window, then you'll still get that old information. However, you're getting information. So you're guaranteed to get something by using this lead capture, the use Facebook lead generation form versus use a site or landing page. If you do that and they go to the site or landing page, they don't necessarily have to fill out anything, and they can just get the information they want without you getting any information from them. So I always recommend using that lead generation form. And then we want to leave learn more, right, as your button. Okay, so you can change the button depending on your ad. For this ad, we do want to just hit learn more. If you have them signing up for something, you can do that, or apply now. Maybe you're doing a Keller Mortgage ad, you can choose to do apply now instead, but we're going to leave it as learn more. And what's going to happen when they learn more? What do you want them to get? That landing page we just made? What a great idea, Sergio. You're such a pro. So I'm going to go back into our landing pages and grab that link we made from earlier. Now you see why I set all of that up first. Copy that link and go back into Facebook. Whoops, sorry, into the Facebook ad here. So our follow-up link, so after they click learn more, they will be directed to our landing page. If you, oops, something. There we go. If you notice, there is a choose site button here, so I could, all of the sites Sergio's already created are in here, so I could have just clicked that. But if it wasn't a site you made in command, you would just have to paste the link in there. You can see we do have the option to put your app in your own homepage in there too. Okay. Our last step here is ad targeting. So we can go ahead and hit use custom settings. I do like to do that because you guys can that helps you to target who will be seeing this. So you can see there is a target my database. So if you guys have used the tags in command and you really want to target people in a group that you've set up, you can use that and tell it what tag you're targeting. You do not have to. You can just let Facebook do all the targeting for you, but then still customize it a little bit. The minimum radius you can do is 15 miles. You can go farther than that. Sergio, I'm going to have you unmute yourself and let me know how you want this set up.
Sure, the 15 is fine.
Okay, so 15 miles.
Yeah, add a
And then we have interests that you can add. We've seen a lot of results with looking for interests that are people that are interested in realtor.com are probably going to be interested in this post. So again, if you guys do these campaigns directly through Facebook, you'll still have this option to look for these different interests. So here we have realtor.com. People that are looking at Zillow or like Zillow probably want to see this. Do you have any interests you want me to target specifically, Sergio?
Zillow, Trulia, Realtor, home buying. I think there is mortgage, some variables for mortgage. So you want to check that. Mortgage calculator, for example, a lot of people will be looking. So
let's do mortgage calculator.
And I think there's
loans.
buying, you know.
Okay. And what's important to note here is we want to leave it on or. You do not want to change it to and for what we're doing right now. And means that they have to have an interest in mortgage loans and a mortgage calculator. So it will take, instead of making your circle of targeting go like this, saying I'm adding it, it's going to say I need somebody. So people that like mortgage loans, the group is this big. If they like mortgage loans and calculators, well, it's going to be a smaller group of people. So doing it as or will say I like mortgage loans, and then I want also a separate group of people that also like mortgage calculators, so that'll grow because it'll add the group together. So you want or in this situation, not and. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and hit save selection. When I was in the class at Family Reunion with the Facebook people, they said that 5 is really the max you should target. So just be purposeful with what you're choosing for that target. And you can see the estimated audience size of these interests. So this is saying there's, look at that, 9 million, almost 10 million people that have hit liked essentially on realtor.com on Facebook. So that's where they're pulling that information from. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Sergio, is there anything you want me to update before I hit save? No,
all set.
Okay.
All good.
So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Oops, I missed something. We want to search a location. Well, our property is in Addison, so we probably want to look within 15 miles of Addison, Illinois. Whoop, not Texas. Doesn't want to work for me. What am I doing wrong here? Usually it will search where you are currently working as well. Oh, I was just being impatient. That's what was going on. Let's see. There we are, Addison, Illinois. So if you're, I'm in Northlake right now, so I could have chosen to look where I'm currently working and it would have fed that information in, but that's not where the open house is. So we're going to choose Addison, Illinois. Go ahead and hit save. And then we have our duration and budget. So you guys don't want to run ads more than 10 days. So 10 days is your max. There is no greater ROI after 10 days. So if you want something to run longer, do 2 smaller ads. You want to average more than $1 a day because the way Facebook populates the ads and pushes them up in front of people is the ones that perform more early on. They stick in front of people more in the future. And if your ad is performing early on, they will, if you only are at $1 spend per day, it's probably used that dollar up already. So you want to make sure that you're doing more than $1 per day is the takeaway for that. Sergio, your open house is this Sunday. Do you want to start running the ad today? Would you like to start it running tomorrow?
I'll start it because it's gonna kick tomorrow, right?
Yeah, so it won't let, I should have prefaced that. It won't let us start running it today. The earliest you can start an ad is the next day because it does have to go through the Facebook review process. So we don't want it to run until April 5th because that's after the open house, right? Let's go back. Would you like it to run until Sunday or maybe just through Saturday?
Until Sunday is fine.
Okay, so we're gonna have it run all 3 days. And how much would you like to spend total?
I don't know. There was that 150 a day, so it's 3 days, right? A channel, so it's 450, so it's $9. Let's make it $10 altogether.
Which part? The total spend?
Total spend, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do a $10 spend. So you can see that per channel per day, that's $167. Because remember, we have 2 channels we selected. We selected Facebook and Instagram. And we're gonna go ahead and let Facebook do Facebook and Instagram do automated placements for you, just because they know the algorithm. So they're gonna push it out for us and not let us have to decide what time and which location we wanna send it. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. So you can distribute evenly, but I like to use the automatic ones because those algorithms will will be used at your advantage. Okay? And do you want to spend more per one site or the other, or are you good with it being split evenly?
I'm good with even split.
Okay. Well, then we're all set. He has this set to go for $10, which is $3.33 a day over the next 3 days starting tomorrow. Sergio, do you want me to change anything before I hit save here?
All good. All ready to roll.
So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Do you want me to publish it or do you want me to leave it as a draft and you'll publish it later?
Yeah,
okay. So Sergio's already hooked up his payment options here. So when you guys get to this portion, if you haven't already hooked up a credit card, it is going to ask you to do that. He's already linked up because he's been running ads. So I'm going to go ahead and hit publish here. And don't look. It doesn't have all the information, but so we're just going to hit create campaign. And our campaign is created. So we are a little bit over. I'm going to do a real quick just to show you how to get to Smart Plans, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. So if you guys want to stay on for questions, awesome. If not, I totally understand we're a little bit over here. So the last thing I wanted to show you was how to add your leads that you do get from the open house to a Smart Plan. So I'm in Sergio's account still, and I'm back on the left-hand side. If you hover over the little checklist looking thing with a cog on it, it's actually will take you to your Smart Plans. So we're going to click Smart Plan. You guys, this is something that's specific to KW. For those of you watching, you might, if you're using Zapier or something, that could be a resource that you could use for follow-up like this, but this is definitely something that was created for our platform. So just a heads up on that. Okay, so Smart Plans. Looks like, Sergio, you have added a bunch already. If you guys have not added any, there's a library button at the top. Go ahead and click library. And these are all the plans that you have access to. You see I scroll down, we have one that says Open House Follow-Up. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit Add Smart Plan. So it's gonna add to your options on that first page there. I'm just gonna hit Apply. And I want you to see what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and click View Steps. And so this Smart Plan will automatically, if you have Twilio set up, it will automatically send out a text. You are able to customize these. So it's going to send a text, it's going to delay a day, it's going to remind you to have an interaction with that client, that lead. It'll delay 2 days, it's going to remind you to give them a phone call, It'll delay 3 days. It's going to send another automated text. In another 4 days, it's going to tell you to call them and reach out to them. And you can see as I'm scrolling over these items, the script is popping up as well. So on that phone call, it says call the open house lead to see if they're interested in any upcoming open houses. Okay? So on and so forth. So we've got another delay, another text, another delay, another touch, delay, and then add to your long-term nurture campaign, which is over here. So that's all set up. So when you add somebody to this smart plan, it's just going to start dripping on them with those touches. So there is a little bit of setup for you guys to do. That's a whole nother class, but I wanted you to see that that smart plan was in there. And now that I've added it to Sergio's list of smart plans, right here it says open house follow-up. You can just hit this little person that says add contact, and anybody that came in as a lead, you can go ahead and you can either search their name, you can just scroll through. If you've tagged them, you can go ahead and search through your tags as well. So maybe you tagged them as an open house. That's what that's for. Okay. So I don't want to add anybody to it, but all you would do was, you know, check the box and then hit add to smart plan, and that would start running for them. Eventually, this will get to the point where you won't have to manually add people to smart plans. If you set the smart plan to be set up that as a lead comes in from this specific form, go ahead and add them to the plan. So that's coming down the pipeline. Right now, all of the smart plans are manual add. Okay. I'm going to open up the chat here. Oops, I just covered my chat. That is all I have to share at the moment. I think that was a lot. If you guys want to unmute and have questions or put questions in the chat, I now have my chat box open. Like I said, this screen here with all the screenshots, if you're in my office, it's already in our Google Drive under KWPP resources. It's listed in the training file. I will work on getting this out to the other market centers, and anybody who's attending not from one of our branches, feel free to email me. I'm going to try to send out an email after Zoom too, assuming I can get everybody's information. So thank you all for coming. Does anybody have questions? Hi, Mash.
Hi, Amy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. As you know, it was a lot for one session. Where we can go and is there a recording of this webinar? We can find somewhere if I want to go back and check it.
This was recorded. It's still being recorded. So once the recording is finished and up, we have to wait for it to upload to our cloud. I'll be putting it out on the Facebook groups, and I'll put it along with this document that I'm showing right here. Also know for everybody in KW that you can always go to kwconnect.com, hover over technology and click tech enabled agent. All of this stuff, except the Facebook watch party, is actually stuff I took from that page. I'm sharing my secrets with you. I didn't do all this work ahead of time. So all of these step-by-step pieces are available for you through Connect as well, and there's videos in there too.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Anything else I can help with?
Thanks, Amy. Great presentation.
Thank you. Thank you to Sergio, April, and Deb as well for kind of piloting this with me and helping to figure out what questions everybody would have ahead of time and what was needed to run these open houses.
Hey,
I'll hang out.
Thank you.
Excellent. I'll keep you posted for
Question. Name.
Yeah.
Hey, have you seen anybody take their photos from the houses and it comes in a video slideshow and then put them on as a paid ad? Because a lot of us obviously are putting them on the private network.
Oh, if you do that, I would choose a carousel ad through Facebook. What's kind of cool about that is that the only time you get that carousel, so that's when you see a picture. It's kind of like a slideshow, sort of, when they scroll across. Have you guys ever seen ads like that kind of just scroll across?
So you're saying take the pictures individually versus some of our photographers have already made them into a video.
Oh, I misunderstood your question. So yes, if you have stills and you want it to be a little more interactive, choose the carousel option when you're doing your ads. However, if you have the video already, yes, that is an option for the campaigns. You can use a link, you can use a video, you can use stills, so you can put the virtual tour in there. You have to have the actual file, not just a link to it though. So like an MP4 or something.
Okay. Okay. Good info. Thanks for everything. It was a great
Sure.
class.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Bye now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Charlie, I love your shirt.
I got caught.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Dale, Peppa Pinga.
I'm just looking through the chat right now. Doesn't look like any questions. Lots of thank yous. Thank you guys all for attending.
Hey, Amy, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
When I do a smart plan, maybe you said it, I didn't hear you, but can I change the message that goes along with that monthly?
Yes, you can. It's been a while since I've gone in there to do that. Once you set it up, there's the pens on the side that say edit or cannot be edited. So if can you see my screen still?
Yeah, wait one
Yeah,
second. Okay.
So some of them you can see here, I can't edit it, but some of the smart plans farther down, I can click that little pencil and hit edit.
Okay.
And it's gonna make a copy of it so that you don't lose your original. And then you can actually come in and edit the plan. So you can add extra steps, you can delete steps, or you can edit. So here's the text message step, and it says, hey, contact first name. So it will auto-populate the contact's first name. Thanks for coming by. What did you think of the open house? So you could edit this and say, thanks for viewing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for watching.
Great.
Right? Except I can't type. Watching my tour. What did you think of the open house? Right? So that's how you can edit it.
Great.
And then you can add emails in as well. See, this one says create a task, send an email. So here's the email description. And again, you can edit these fields or the text in there.
Gotcha.
Did
Cool.
that help? Okay.
Yep.
Anybody else?
Okay.
Oh, we got some new messages. Oh, Rachel, do you want to unmute yourself? What did you want to know about the pricing for the ads? Oh, what is the most effective price per day? Okay, so it's not necessarily a per day thing. So what I heard at Family Reunion from the people who work at Facebook is they said to do $20 to $30 for ads. That's where they were seeing the most return on investment. I know Sergio only had a few days, so that's why we did a little bit of a lower campaign spend there. So 20 to 30 seems to be the sweet spot. If you guys have your follow-up systems in place, including smart plans like this, there was an agent who was actually thinking about getting out of the business last year. He's up in Canada, and he saw this campaign manager through Command and really took advantage of it. He is now one of the top producing agents in Canada, and he built his entire business off of these Facebook campaigns. He runs 4 ads consecutively at $50 an ad. So he currently has $200 in ad spend running at one time, but he has a team and he has those systems to follow up. So you do need to make sure that if you're spending more money that you have, you have that plan in place and you're ready to follow up with the leads that are coming in. Just like any online lead, they typically, the vast majority of them tend to be a little farther out, which is fine. That doesn't mean it's a bad lead. It just means that you're catching them at the beginning of their process, which is great because once you show them what an awesome agent you are, they're not going to go look for somebody else. Did that help, Rachel? So yeah, $20 to $30 an ad, and then typically up to 10 days is what you want to do. And then don't spend less than $1 a day. And that's also a little tip that I got from AJ, our tech director here. Any other questions I can help with? No? All right. right, well, if that's it for everybody, oh, wait, oh, just another thank you. Thanks, Gwen, hi. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording and end the call. Like I said, I'm gonna work on figuring out how to get the recording out to you guys and my little cheat sheet of directions. So if you're at KWPP, this is the file that it's in, and it's right here. It's just called Open House, powered by command. All right, thank you for coming, everybody. I really hope that this can help get you guys some virtual boots in the doors and get some leads while we're all working from home. All right, have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Thank you.